Today marks 1338 days sharing lessons I learn and continue to learn with you. And I hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today we speak about heroes. I think that every single person is a hero in some way or another, and every person is able to choose to be a hero, to be a leader, to be aspiration, to be a person of value, of character, of a really a true hero. And I think that when you think about, I love writing. I love writing everything. So you can be a hero from 1 to 10. Maybe you are one level of hero, maybe a 2 level, maybe a 10 level. So being able to understand, okay, do you want to be a hero in someone else? And I think that sometimes people do not want to be a hero, but they are heroes anyway. And today we'll really speak about that. I will speak about really where that desire sometimes coming from and where you can potentially be a leader. This is a topic that a hero. This is a topic that I really admire because I truly believe that every single person is built for serving others, to adding value to other people. Because I think that true meaning, true purpose, true fulfillment comes when you're actually able to be a hero in someone else's story. So let's get understanding exactly where that hero, what we able to understand about that hero. Number one, you don't have to be perfect to be a hero. I think this is the number one rule because I think that sometimes, including myself, sometimes I used to believe that when I will be great at something, then I will be able to be a hero. But what I learned is that you're able to be a hero anytime, just by living the right way. I remember that I will never forget. I will never forget. This is probably one of the most memorable moments of my life. And I remember I was living with a guy from New York, in California for 3 months with him. And my English was very, very poor. I was barely communicating. So, of course, he didn't understood my accent, and we didn't communicate much. But I was living with him, and a majority of my time was spent in the kitchen. I was reading, I was working, I was preparing to exercise, I was eating, everything. So he was able to see the way how I live. So after 3 months, when I was moving out, so like he said to me that I appreciate your input into my life because I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I started exercising, I started reading. So it means all the things that started was because he was exposed in different way of living. And he said that I changed his life, but he changed my life much more. He impacted me so deeply that I still remember that because it's when I think about that moment, I always have the goosebumps because he made my life matter. Because I realized that even living the way how I want to live, or living a way that could potentially inspire other people to really change the way how they potentially live. Because one of the best ways to change your life is to expose yourself into different ways of living. And that's why, was I perfect back then? No, I will never be perfect. But again, this is again shows that you don't need to be perfect. What you need to be just need to really do something, just a little bit better than someone else, just a little bit better, and that's who you could be a hero because I think hero is a person who allows someone to really positively change in a better way, and that's a truly hero. That's why I truly believe that you don't need to be perfect. Number two is courage exists when you are afraid. Courage exists when you are afraid. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that sometimes when you think about your hero is like such a masculine or feminine energy, but it depends that you have that massive difference compared to other people. But I think that the most important thing is that it doesn't matter how much you're afraid of. What matters how big your courage is. So a hero doesn't nobody asks like how afraid they are. Most time they are much more afraid than you are, but they have just bigger courage. Because I always said that when you have like again writing, I love writing. So you have 1 to 10 fear, and you have 1 to 10 courage. So that means if your fear is 5, but your courage is 6, that means you will take action. If your fear is 8, but your courage is 9, you will take action. That's why sometimes people with massive fear still take action because their courage always outperform their fear. So that means that if you want to take action, that means you'll be able to focus on two things. Try to reduce the fear, increase the courage, and we will do the things right. So courage exists even when you're afraid, and it always exists. And sometimes when, like, of course, fear is 1 and courage is 9, of course, you always take action. So it's a beautiful thing understanding that heroes has massive fear as well. Number three is you can't pour from an empty cup. I think heroes always need to understand that. And this is one of the lessons that I learned from John C. Maxwell, one of the best leaders and the coaches in that field, in a hero field, in a leader field. And he said that you're not able to give what you do not have. If you want to really give calmness, you need to be calm. If you want to really be present, you need if you want to really teach someone to be present, that means you need to be present. If you want to really teach someone how to be wealthy, you need to be wealthy. So it means if you want to be a hero in some specific field, that means that we need to be heroes for ourselves to really develop that in that field so we can really give. It's a very beautiful lesson that you are not able to give what you don't have. So that means we ask, like, what do I have? What could I give? In what field could I be a hero? And at that moment, you of course looking, of course, your strengths, and in that field, most likely will be a hero in someone else's life. Desire number four is desire to protect reflects deep empathy. I think that we need to understand that sometimes we just really want to really have that fulfillment, and I think that that desire to really to add value, to be a hero, is it shows that you understand that people are struggling, and I think that the heroes are the people who have struggled in the past with themselves even more, because it's very hard to really to help somebody with something that you never experienced. And that's why I love Ed Milet. He's a great teacher and great. So that most of the time, the things that you think potentially that disqualifies you from things, most likely that is the most important thing that qualifies you to help the same people like yourself. And I think that this is one of the best lessons. And I think that that empathy comes in because you know exactly how it feels to be in that position. You know exactly how it feels. You don't sympathize. You don't think, oh, like I could imagine, I could understand how you feel. No, you know exactly how it feels to be in that position, and that's exactly qualifies. And the desire to protect is from knowing how it feels being in that position. That's a great hero to be in. Number five, healing is not linear, and that's okay. I think that sometimes we think that okay, like I have like 2 months to heal, and it seems that it's supposed to go like little by little, little by little. But it's exactly like I think that compound effect is in healing as well as a hero, because it's like curve. So the beginning, that healing is super slow. It takes a lot of time and energy to reflect, to grow, to improve, to let it go, and at some point it just starts clicking. It starts moving very much faster. It's moving better and better and better, and it gets momentum of healing. And I think that is exactly in being a hero as well. Sometimes when you want to add value to people, it just seems that you just pushing hard and hard and hard, and after that, you're just able to really help a lot of people. And I think that that's where a lot of speakers, public speakers, go into as well. They speak in groups, small groups, small groups, small groups, small groups, and then you have a massive transformation. Start speaking with thousands and 10,000 people. And I think that is very, very important to be a hero to couple people. And I think that's I think that's if you're not able to be a hero to one person, it means you'll not be able to be a hero for 1,000 people. And and that's why it is with linear as well in everything, in healing, in growth. It's not linear. It's always is compounding. Number six is letting go of guilt when you can't save everyone. I think that's I used to believe that every single person is supposed to have a better life, but there is after a while that I'm not able to save everybody. The most important part is that I'm not good to every single person. What one person needs, other person doesn't need that. So of course I'm not able to save everybody in sense. But sometimes people that I could potentially help, they just don't want to be helped yet. Maybe they will never want to be helped. But sometimes, like it says, when the student is ready, teacher appears. When the when the teacher is ready, student appears as well. But both sides. But sometimes people say like, I want to be a hero, but maybe you're not ready. That's why student that never appears because you're not ready to have students under you who really follows your lead. But at the same time, like when you want student and you want to really change, you need to be willing to change, and then mentors will appear. Because most time people feel and see that this person is ready to change. Because sometimes people say that I want to change, but deep down they don't want to change it. They want to really have their comfort in life. They're not willing to change. Wanting to change and be willing to change are totally different things. And I learned the hard way. People say a lot of things, so that's why when you have massive emotional intelligence, you start to understand that when you listen to a people, you need to really look into their actions, not what they say. Because a lot of times I always believe people. I used to believe, I still believe people, but sometimes I learned that when people say something, they sometimes even lie to themselves. We lie to ourselves. I like to lie to myself. I think that every single person sometimes lying to ourselves, because wanting and believing and willing to do that is different. And the same with manifestation. I always say that people say, "Oh, I want to have a car. I want to be beautiful things." But what are you willing to work for it? And do you believe that you are worth it? Because wanting that and believing that you're able to achieve it and actually doing the right things and be willing to do the right things is something totally different. And I think that heroes are the things that we need to really reflect on who you need to be when to be a hero. Because I think that you need to learn how to be able to be vulnerable. And I think there's a lot of deep lessons that we need to really think of when we think about heroes. Because I think that's the one interesting fact is that one a lot of times it happens is that when you want to be a hero in someone else's life, what it truly means is that you might be, including myself, that you want to save yourself. And you project that saving to others. So because you want to have a hero in your own life, you don't have that hero in your own life. So that you want to be a hero in other people's life. And sometimes that's what a lot of people say, and a lot of successful people say that save yourself first before saving others. Because when you save yourself, it will be so much more easy to really save others. And I think that we need to understand that we really need to be heroes that be able to really understand that letting go and control and really start to really act of love. I think that when we really want to be heroes, we need to have that unconditional love. Because sometimes you could potentially have expectations of other people, how they're supposed to do and not to do things. And I think the heroes doesn't really complain, but they'll always show example, no matter how other person is doing. Because I think heroes are never lowering their standards for other people, but they're able to meet where people are. Because I think that is again the most important attribute of a hero, who is able to really come down where the people are and meet where they are, and being able to willing and do that. Because I think that majority of people not willing to do that, because when they really, that's again one of the hardest things, is that when you're really going through the growth period and you move from 1 to 100 step, and then when you're 100 steps, sometimes people forget what did they do to really to get to that 100 step. And now it's something like, oh, how you can really not understand it, this is so simple. But for you it's simple right now, but a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, this the same thing that you say that is very simple was not simple for you back then. And I think that has again one thing that is a lot of times heroes have a very short memory of the struggle that they went through to really achieve that level. And I think that we need to really be aware of that. Um, so next thing that I really want to mention, I really love that sentence that I have here is, you can't be the light for others if you're afraid of your own darkness. You can't be the light for others if you are afraid of your own darkness. Such a beautiful sentence. That's why it's so important to, as a hero, to walk on yourself first, to understand, is there any insecurities, any fears, any darks inside, and really put the light on them. And when you're really able to really see them, be aware of it, reflect on it, you're able to really make that darkness into the light. Make that darkness into oil to really make that beautiful light. And it's beautiful, beautiful thing. And I think that it's a beautiful topic. How to be a hero in someone else's life. And again, this is what I learned, the most important, probably foundational things. You'll never be perfect. And we need to be heroes to ourselves first, because you're not able to give what you don't have. And when you're able to really do that, I think that we're able to really pursue life in the highest possible way. Because a vision, aspiration is supposed to be based on serving other people. That's I truly believe it, and I will always believe that. Probably, like, not supposed to say always, because those, of course, are too strong the words. You never know what will change, what will happen. But this is where I am right now, and I truly believe this is one of the best ways to live right now. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.